Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. It's been a while, but I'm back again. But anyways, today we're doing a review on the 2007 Gemmy Jason Voorhees. Now, this is kind of an update video because I did make 2 repair videos on him before. And now I guess I'm kind of making an update. Bad thing though, right when I was setting him up for this video, the arm spring popped off. I have it right here. This is the arm spring, and it popped off. I only had 1 screw for this. I don't know where the rest went. I might have them somewhere. I'm gonna have to go looking for them. But there was only 1 screw holding this thing on, which surprisingly 1 screw held it on throughout all of Halloween night. But as I was setting him up, it just popped off and the screw went who knows where. And also, this is not the original rubber band in here. I got it off of one of my other animatronics, which I want to put it back on that other animatronic, so I'm actually going to take that off. I got it off my Pennywise, and I really wanted him running on Halloween night, so I borrowed Pennywise's band, and I put it on him. Anyways, yeah, that plastic broke off there and there. I also fixed the arm. So the arm right here, the metal completely snapped off the plastic. So this was just an extreme temporary fix, but I took a piece of PVC and I put a hole through this top piece here, put a nail through it, and I put a hole through the bottom piece here and put a nail through that and through the metal, and it worked. It worked all of Halloween night. Surprisingly, I was surprised that that fix actually made it work. Now that is just temporary. In the future, I do want to buy a whole new arm piece because I know Skull Crane. He sells a bunch of 3D printed parts, and he has an 07 arm piece, which I'm thinking about buying it off of him. And with that, I also want to buy a new head mount because mine, the point where it connects to the gear, is completely stripped. So that's an issue. His head movement does not work. It is screwed on the board, and I don't know how to fix it, and I don't know if I will ever know how to fix it. And his eyes, I think the motor in the head is starting to die on me because they're starting to really slow up their movement. So what I wanted to do was rewire the eye movement to the head movement, so the head is moving a little bit, because like you can barely tell the eyes are moving, so I figured I'd wire it up to the head, so I'm gonna get a new headpiece as well. And I think those are all of the problems. His body turn completely works. That is fine. Until that came off, his arm worked. So I'm gonna have to find a new solution to this. I'm gonna have to, if I can't find the screws for this, then I'll just buy new screws. But, yeah, I did record a demo of him as soon as I got done fixing him, so I will put that in this video a bit later. So I do have a demo for him. I just can't do one now because of that. So, yeah, I'm gonna put his clothes and his head all back together, and then I will do a whole overview of him, and then I'll put the demo in. So I got him all back together. He is way over 6 feet, almost touching my ceiling. Like, there is barely any room in there. So anyways, oh, and his arm is not supposed to be this far back. It usually rests out like this, but again, because the spring broke, it's kind of just chilling back like that. So that's how he's gonna have to look for now. I'm gonna start at the bottom and work my way to the top. Down here at the base, his purple button and the sensor is right there, which I find to be really annoying because, like, I have these outside, and usually they're in like a gravel or grass area, and that usually blocks the sensor. So I have a multi-prop remote hooked up to him on Halloween, and it actually does work on him. But Leatherface, he doesn't have a Try Me slot, so he just never really goes off on Halloween, which, you know, it's kind of annoying. On the back here, we have his collapse button. I think that might be a sound sensor. I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure it's a sound sensor. The on or sensor. There's his adapter jack and the in-store demo. There is a lot of like residue here because A long, long time ago, we just kept these outside and we never plugged them in because before I fixed them and before I knew how to fix them, they were in terrible, terrible condition. So my grandparents, because that's who owns these, they just put tape over all of the openings and even over the button just to keep water from getting in there, I guess. And they just displayed them without having them operational. So anyways, that's the base. Now the shoes here. On the '08 and '09 models, the plastic on the shoes up here is pretty thin, and it's pretty thin on here too. On the '08 model, because I just watched a video of that, the plastic right here, like, it looks like it's been cracked here, which it might have been, but on the '08 model, there's more of like a slot dug out right here for the poles, I guess, to come through. There are two big metal poles here, each have springs on them, then that transitions up there to the plastic. And for those of you who don't know, to collapse it, you press on here and then push them down, and to raise it, you press on the shoulders and raise them up. There are a lot of rips in both sides of the pants, which you can see through and see the springs, but in the dark, it's not noticeable, especially this far down on the pants. All of this is one piece. The jacket does come off separately, though, because right here, it just transitions up into this lighter fabric material than the pants. And then this shirt, this brown shirt, is sewn onto it, and there's only like half a shirt here, like in the back. You can see like it's only half a shirt in the front. The jacket has a bunch of rips on it, like the pocket here, along the side. This arm has a rip right here, and I don't know if it's this model that has the rip on the arm. No, it's the '08 and possibly '09 models that have a giant rip right here on the arm. And there's a rip in the shoulder here. More rips. There's a ton of rips. The rips vary depending on the year it came out. Like I said, at least I don't know about the '09 model, but the '08 model has like this giant rip here, but on the other arm. There's this one arm. This arm is posable. You can pose this arm. There's just a little metal wire in here. This arm right here, this hand isn't detachable, but like a lot of their other life sizes, this one is. There's just a pin. Let me see if I can find it. It's on the other side. There's a pin here with a string that's sewn to the clothing. Mine broke off, but there's the string. You can pull the pin out, and then you can take the hand off. Now, this glove, I just have safety pinned to the sleeve because the sleeve starts rolling down and showing the metal pole under here because it doesn't stay attached to my glove. I don't know if that's just a problem with mine or if that's all of them. Now, what I've never seen anyone mention before is how the machete stays in the hand, because you can take the machete out. There's actually right here, I don't know if you can see the outline of it, but right there, there's a little round spot. That's because right about here in the glove, there's a magnet. There's just one magnet, and it holds the machete in, if I can get it back in. The blood on the machete, it's alright. I'm not the biggest fan of it. It's okay. I don't really know what else to say about it. The tip on mine here, it's kind of flattened out because of years of being used, because I know my cousins and everything, they'd sometimes play with it. I would sometimes play with it. So it's a little more beaten up than your average Jason machete. Now up here on the head, the mask is really cool. This is the Freddy vs. Jason. That's what this one's from. It has 3 straps up here. The plastic on here, it's alright. It's not incredibly thick. It's not incredibly thin either. My Jason mask has a little bit of, I don't know what to call it right there. A little bit of wear, I guess. You can take the mask off, and it reveals the face underneath, which is really cool. The 2010 model only has a moving right eye. The left one is, I don't really know how to say it. It's just a white eye. It doesn't move. It's part of the mask itself. In the back, I think the 07 model has like the most hair. Because this one has a lot of hair in the back. Some of it is kind of falling out, so like mine extends down really far because it's falling out. I'm trying to be pretty careful with that so it doesn't all fall out. There's the back of the jacket. Yeah, he is really tall, really intimidating if you're right up next to him. His speaker is right here in his chest. I know a lot of Gemmy life sizes. I think all of them have the speaker somewhere around in the chest, which I think is really cool, except for Leatherface. His speaker is in his chainsaw, but that's for another video. This guy is really, really cool. He was around for, I think, 4 to 5 years. I don't know when they stopped selling him. I think they kept him around until 2011, 2012, I want to say. But yeah, he is huge. For the time, he was revolutionary for Gemmy. He was the fastest moving animatronic out there at the time in Spirit. He moved so fast. You'll see it in the demo, but he really whips the machete up and he turns really fast. Like, he is really fast. And I don't know, I think 2007 introduced the body turn. I don't know if 2006 animatronics had it. I know the 05 Freddy didn't have it. Dr. Shivers didn't have it. He's huge. I don't know what else to say. I know the 07 model starts with the machete down and then raises it. Oh, he can't even raise it in here. And then he raises his arm, but I think the 08, 09 and 2010 models start with their machete up and lower it down. I like what he does better. This is one of my favorite models, but also one of my least favorite models because the 07 models have this really common problem with the head. The head motor will lock up and then break the components on the board, so even if you replace the motor, and if it's too late, the components will already be burned out, and then you'd have a board problem, and it's terrible. And like, I don't know how to deal with board problems. I can go in there, replace a motor, fix a split gear, solder wires, but when it comes to board components, I don't know what I'm doing. So it causes a huge problem for me, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to fix it. I guess only time will tell. I think that's all I have to cover with this guy. He is really cool. One of my favorite animatronics that I have, maybe even my favorite, I don't know, but he is just such an amazing animatronic. The most recent one, the 2021 Jason, I think, is when they brought him out. The one that was supposed to come out, no, it came out in 2022. The one that was supposed to come out in 2019 finally came out. It looks terrible. Like, what I love so much about these guys is that they have more of a realistic looking body structure, but the more recent Gemmy animatronics, their life sizes, like, they just stand with their arms completely down to their sides, just straight, and it looks just terrible. And every time I make a Gemmy video, I know I'm gonna complain about it, but that's just how it is. I'm gonna put the demo in here, and I'll see you in the next video.